And Amy's driving again. Look at this.
Oh, come on now.
She drove all day today.
No, I did not. You're such a liar.
She got to drive through
Oh
Zion Park twice.
You are a liar.
Look at this.
You're a liar because I only got out so you could
We
go,
are back at our favorite, well, Marcus Tate's favorite state for scenic views and hikes and fun, Utah. Is this your favorite one too?
It is. It's
Okay.
my favorite national park too.
It is the Tates, and we are in Amy's favorite national park, Zion National Park.
That's right.
I still like Acadia, but I do love Zion National Park, and I love everything about Utah. I would move here and be a park ranger.
Me too.
Maybe one day I will. Are you guys hiring? You probably are. Anyway, it is awesome out here. The weather is just gorgeous. It's like in the 80s.
No, it's not. It's 95.
It's hot.
What do I do?
Go around them. See? Just a broke down vehicle. Broke down. Park ranger. Well, Zion, when we first came here, we were like, bam. Because you go through this, what's it called, the tunnel?
Mount Carmel Tunnel.
Mount Carmel Tunnel. Mount Carmel Tunnel.
Yeah.
And it is completely cool.
Like, we're going to go through it.
It's like miles long, and it's dark, and then there's like an opening, and you see this big mountain, and then you get to the other side. It's just like, kind of like when we drove into Sedona for the first time.
Yeah.
It was that wow experience. And this is the second time we drove through it. Well, actually, we've driven through it a bunch of times, but the second time we've been here in Utah and drove through it, and the wow factor was pretty good still. So
It's pretty amazing.
it's amazing. There's still a lot of people here. Some of the hikes, like Angel's Landing, you have to get into a lottery. So we're not sure. We got the whole park tomorrow, and we're not sure what we're going to do. We'll probably end up at the Narrows at some point, because that's
My favorite hike.
me and Amy's favorite hike here is the Narrows. We could just stay in the cool water all day long, and I just love walking on rocks in the water. But we'll see how that goes. And we did some other trails last time. If you want to check out our videos, 12 days in Utah. We have a whole series on that. Numerous videos. Link them in the description below.
The Narrows is one of the most popular hikes in Zion National Park. The Narrows is the nearest section of Zion Canyon. It has 1,000 feet tall walls. You can hike the Narrows without a permit from Temple of Sinawava to Big Spring. It is a mile hike along paved riverside walk along the Virgin River. This hike will take you from bus stop at the Sinawava all the way to the Virgin River. Once you get on the Virgin River, you start the spectacular views of the Narrows. If you hike the Narrows all the way to Big Springs, it's about 5 miles, so 10 miles round trip. couple of years ago, Mark and I tried to make it all the way. We got so close to the very end, but it was starting to get late, so we had to turn around. So we only made it about 8 miles. The great thing about the Narrows is you can either hike for a bit and turn around, but the further you go, you will see the most spectacular views. The best time to hike is in the summer when the water is the warmest, but pay attention to the weather. This time of year, storms can cause flash floods. Water levels do fluctuate. They can go all the way from knee deep to chest deep. When Mark and I hiked the Narrows last time, it was knee deep when we got in, and at the very end, I think I went swimming because it was so hot and it was all the way up to my chest. One thing I will say about the Narrows is make sure you have good closed-toe shoes for all the slick rocks because it is very slippery, and a good walking stick. Pack good hiking snacks and lots of water. Even though you're in the tall canyon walls and the cool water, you are still in the desert. So Zion is spectacular, and there are so many hikes to choose from. It goes all the way from easy to Angel's Landing hard. For Angel's Landing, though, you do need a permit. This is something that the park implemented a couple of years ago. You can either enter the lottery during the certain times. I would check the National Park website to see what times those go in for the lottery, or you can try to get one the day before. Unfortunately, we have not been lucky enough to be able to do Angel's Landing, so we will definitely be back to Zion again. There are some really cool hikes though in Zion. You could do some very easy hikes from the Emerald Pools waterfalls, which is about a 1.2 mile hike. We also did the Grotto Trail a couple of years ago, which was 1 mile. This, to me, was probably the best if you want to see wildlife. We saw turkey, we saw deer, we saw all kinds of different animals. It was absolutely great. We decided that we were going to do something a little bit different this time, and we did this phenomenal hike, which isn't really that long. It's only 1 mile, but the views are amazing. It is called the Canyon Overlook. It is about 1 mile, again, in total length. Parking is very limited, so I highly recommend getting there early. If you want great views of Zion Canyon, this is definitely the hike to do that. This trail has a variety of different terrain, from rock scrambles, cool nooks and crannies with tons of bridges. Also has some really cool caves. This hike will take you around the canyon with amazing views of Pine Creek and Zion Canyon. There are some neat different experiences in just 1 mile. Who knew it was there? Thanks to the National Park group on Facebook, that is where I found out about this hike. Highly recommend doing the Narrows and the Canyon Overlook Trail if you're ever in Zion. Tate out.